Hey everyone, Kara at the Healer Spot here in Davidson. Happy new moon in Scorpio. I thought I would come on and give a little lesson on how to make a mother elixir because at a new moon or a full moon is the time that you could make a mother elixir. So we'll start with why I've chosen the new moon to make this elixir, and it is because the new moon is all about setting new intentions and goals and like making a new change in your life. And so I have decided to I'm making 4 different elixirs today, but I'm going to talk to you guys about the self-protection elixir, which I will turn into a vibrational spray eventually. But my new moon intention is really to be more aware of the energy that is all around me and to be the question, who does this belong to? Because we are such psychic beings and we pick up on energy that is all around us all the time, and then we buy it as our own, and then it just kind of ruins your day, right? And I want to be more mindful of the energy that is around me and to identify and become more conscious of when I go into someone or something else's energy and buy it as my own, because it's not fun. So I have decided to make the self-protection elixir to help me out with my intention. So I'm going to make a mother elixir. It's a 2-week process to make, and you would start it on a new moon or a full moon. And again, I'm starting this one on a new moon because it's all about change and transformation. And so what perfect time to do that? So you want to use glass jars. Now this is the indirect method. Most crystals might be toxic, so placing crystals directly in water, not really the safest practice. So I'm going to use an indirect method, so I'll use glass jars, and they've been cleansed, and then I'm going to use some certain crystals. So I will start just by going through the crystals that I'm going to be using for this elixir. So I have not rose quartz at all. This is called Labradorite. It's really pretty, but you can't really tell. Anyways, I chose a heart shape because it's all about love too. So, not to beat yourself up when you do buy other stuff as your own, just to eventually become aware, oh, who does this belong to? It's not mine. Okay, great. Return it back to sender with full consciousness attached. And when you aren't being present and you kind of forget and you take that on, not to be a jerk to yourself when you aren't always conscious of what's going on. So I'm putting that into this little jar. And Labradorite is really good for deflecting lower energies, and it also shields and protects the aura. So we're not always going to be conscious of the energy that's all around us, right? So these crystals are going to actually help keep some of the energies at bay. So these crystals work on their own, but it's a really subtle shift in energy, right? So over time, you're going to notice a change. But if we work with our crystals, so I'm spraying this spray in my field and I'm being aware that, okay, yes, I want to be mindful of the energies around me, and this is going to release lower energies. When I'm being proactive with this, you're going to see change happening that much faster. So next we have smoky quartz. It's like a little smoky quartz point. And smoky quartz is also good for grounding and releasing lower energies out of your energy field. So we're going to add this into our mother elixir. And then we have black tourmaline. So these are all like the dark colored. These are like the cat's meow of protective crystals that are really going to keep lower energies at bay. But it's also, again, going to be in my mind, a reminder to who does this belong to, and not pick up and buy other people's stuff as my own. So here's our black tourmaline. It's a little nice chunk. And black tourmaline grounds excess energy, and it repels and protects from lower energy. So it's a really good aura cleanser as well. And finally, I have, this is blue lace agate. I love it. It's got this very calming, gentle, peaceful energy. And I wanted to add this into the self-protection mother elixir to just help me to remember to stay present in the moment and to be calm and to not react or overreact to things and to be interesting point of view with things. So again, you know, if somebody says something that doesn't align or agree with you, to remember that it's just an interesting point of view. Like, it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It's just an interesting point of view, and you don't need to react to that. So, and when we do react to that kind of thing, we let that stuff stick to our energy field. And so this is going to, along with these darker crystals of releasing lower energies, this is going to remind me to be interesting point of view. So we got all sorts of different little magical properties that are going to be a part of this elixir. And now I've also chosen to add a few little healing herbs. So this is some thyme, some dried thyme from my garden. And now thyme is really good actually for dealing with grief. It's also good for, you know, that grounding and protective energy. And it also gives you strength and courage. And so I just think all of those things could be awesome little added pinches of energy into this elixir. So I'm just going to do a pinch of that into here. And now I have a cinnamon leaf. Honestly, you guys, there are so many things we can add to our everyday life. There's so much stuff that has awesome healing properties to it. And if we just become aware of these things and we add these things into our day, it just makes life so much more fun and actually is energetically supporting our lives. So cinnamon is really good for power and personal power. So this elixir is all about self-protection. But the thing is, we are powerful beings. And there is nobody more powerful than anybody else. So this is just a reminder to stand in your power of who you are. And, you know, it's easy to get contracted into this little space, and we've got all these points of view, like this little prison wall that surrounds us where we think that we're stuck. But the fact of it all is that we are infinite beings. We are so much bigger, so much more than these perceived problems that we get stuck in. So I wanted to add this cinnamon as a reminder that when I do pick up on stuff or like put myself in a little box, this is going to be a reminder, hey, guess what? You're an infinite being. Expand your energy field beyond all that and see the bigger picture. Because I tell you what, it really works when you get stuck in this small little space, and it's not always easy to expand beyond it, but when you do, it's like relief. You look at the situation from outside of it, and it's so much simpler than, you know, we don't have to let it stick to us. So anyways, cinnamon is all for standing in the power of who you are and seeing the bigger picture. Now finally, I have chosen to use some frankincense resin because frankincense is also a very cleansing and purifying, has very cleansing and purifying properties. But it also is good for successful ventures. And so here I am at this new moon with the intention to be mindful of the energies that are all around me and to daily remind myself to ask all the time, for every thought, feeling, emotion that comes up, who does this belong to? So this is just adding that success into that. I can do this. I can be present. I can be aware of the energy. I'm doing this. So, and I also chose to use numerology with this. I chose 5 pieces of frankincense resin because 5 is a very transformational number and it's all about change. So here we go. We have all these wonderful healing properties that are going to go into the making of this self-protection mother elixir. I should say all the crystals that went into here, be sure before you put them in, I have cleansed all of these actually with Reiki energy. I also used a white sage smudge yesterday, and then I cleansed them. We were in the new moon energy yesterday as well, and we will be tomorrow. So I cleansed them already in that new moon energy, and that they're all ready. So we have all these healing properties ready to go. So now we have our clean jar, glass jar, and now I'm going to put 600 milliliters of clean water. I filled this really full too. Of clean water into this jar. So you want to start by putting your clean water in. So there's 600 mils of water going into this mother elixir. For elixirs, because they can last quite a while, you want to make sure that you put a preservative into your elixir because you don't want bacteria and icky stuff growing in your elixir. You really don't want that. So you can use different kinds of preservatives. You can use apple cider vinegar if you don't want alcohol. It will preserve your elixir for about 3 months. And then the next step you could use is vodka. And vodka lasts for about 4 to 5 months. And then you could also go one step further and use brandy. And brandy is good for like 6 to 7 months. You can use about 30% of 30% preservative into your elixir. So I've put 600 mils of clean water in here. So I am gonna put 180 mils of vodka into this, and I hope that I measured this out properly so that it doesn't overflow. So we've got our water, we've got our 30% preservative of vodka, and now we are going to lower. I did it right. Now we've lowered this jar in. So as you can see, nothing is touching the water physically because we don't want that because it's not really the safest practice. But we've lowered it in with another jar. And again, you want to use glass. So all of the healing energies of those crystals and those properties of the herbs over the next 2 weeks are going to infuse themselves into this water and become a very strong, what word am I looking for? It's going to be just like a nice infused energy into this water. So finally, then, I won't do it right now, but you can just put some plastic wrap or something over the top. So this is what we're going to do. For the first week, we're going to set it either outside, but I'm not going to because it's kind of cold outside and snowing. So I'm going to place it in my window, just by my window. So it's going to get 7, well, actually, no, I'm doing an indirect method. So I'm going to do it for 8 days. So today's the new moon, and in 8 days, it's actually going to be the first quarter moon. So this is going to sit in my window for 8 days and 8 nights, absorbing this new moon energy and the energies of the moon and the sun. After 8 days, well, I'm going to add another element to this, but so then anyways, after the 8 days, then it's going to go into a dark space, and I'm going to surround it with clear quartz points pointing in, and it's going to sit for another 7 days, just really with that clear quartz. Clear quartz is like a master healer stone. It really amps up the intentions and energies of whatever it's surrounding. So I'll use numerology too for that. I don't know how many I'm going to use, but surround it in clear quartz for another 7 days. And then you've got this powerful mother elixir ready to use, good for 4 to 5 months. And then in order to make a vibrational spray, actually, you only need to get a little bottle. Oh, I was going to get a bottle, a little spray, but I'm going to be right back. Okay, so here's an amber spray bottle, and amber is a good color to put your vibrational sprays or elixirs in because it keeps from too much light filtering in, and we want to keep these stored in a dark, cool place. So here we've got our mother elixir after 2 weeks, and we only need to take 10% of that elixir, put it in here. You can fill the rest with some more water. You can add smells, like you can add rose water. And rose water is that high vibrational love energy. So that would really add to this spray too, because it's a self-protection. It's releasing lower energies with this high vibrational love energy. You could also go into properties of different essential oils, adding them into there. So this will keep for a long time. You can, keep adding to your bottle that 10% in, and then water and whatever. And then you just spray you can have one in your purse. You can have one in your bathroom. You can have one at work, whatever you want to do. And you can just spray it all the time. And it's a good reminder to be mindful of those energies around you. It's a reminder to ask, who does this belong to? And you can also put a few drops of this in your bath water. There's so many different things that you can use this mother elixir for. You can put it into your diffuser, just a little bit into your diffuser, and it's putting that self-protection energy out into your space. There's just so many ideas. So the last thing I'm going to do, and I'll set it up after, because I'm going to make 3 other elixirs, and I'm going to really use color therapy. I'm going to be making a menopausal elixir that's good for menopausal symptoms like hot flashes, insomnia. It's also good for releasing depression and anxiety. So I'm going to make that elixir today. I'm also going to make a meditation and room spray, and I'm using the colored jars because I'm also using the healing properties of different colors. So blue is a really calming, peaceful, which is perfect for your meditation or healing room. The purple one for the menopausal one is really good for connecting to that spiritual energy as we release these lower energies. And then this one's going to be my own personal one, and I'm going to be using green. It's all about prosperity, successful ventures, and stepping into your next journey. Anyways, so I'm going to make 4 of those today. Some of them I'll use as vibrational sprays. Some of them I'll use as elixir taking drops under your tongue. Like I said, you can use them in your diffuser. You can add them to your bath water. Whatever you think of it might be fun, you can do. So my final step, once I get all of the rest of that set up, is I'm going to place these 6 black onyx in a hexagon shape around all of these 4 elixirs, because the hexagon, so we're going to add in the element of sacred geometry, and the hexagon really represents transformational energy as well. So we're going to get the energy of that shape bringing in transformation into these elixirs. And then black onyx I'm using because it's a very powerful, and protection stone that absorbs and transforms negative energy, prevents the draining of personal energy, aids in the development of emotional and physical strength and stamina, and then there's a whole bunch of other things that it's good for too. So anyways, I hope that this little video has helped if you want to make your own mother elixir. It's just so much fun, and it just, again, there's so many ways we can add all these components of awesome magical energy into our life. And it's not just because it's a fun thing, but it actually physically makes a difference. Like all these different herbs and all these different crystals, they actually work to create balance in our energy field. They create balance for our mind, body, and soul. So just by being with them every day and spraying them, that's a reminder to ourselves. So we're working along with it, that reminds us to stay present. And then also, though, the healing properties of crystals, like it's a very subtle energy. So it does take time, it might take up to 4 weeks, but eventually you are going to actually resonate. Your energy field is going to vibrate at the same level as these crystals. So then you just become it. You become that energy. So it's so exciting. There's so many fun ways to work with moon energy, to work with crystal energy, to work with healing properties, and just to, become the person that you want to be. We have so many ways to support ourselves. And if this was interesting to you and you want to know more about, living magic in every day, Krista and I are teaching the Practical Magic Workshop. It's in 1 week from today, November 3rd. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's going to be transformational. It's going to be talking about, what do you want for yourself? What do you want in your life? What do you want to be? And working with the tools that can help you get there. So I hope you all have enjoyed this. Enjoy the new moon energy today and again tomorrow. Put your crystals out, set some new intentions, and really have fun in your day.